Hey everyone. So what I want to do really quickly, well hopefully this video is relatively quick, is I want to teach you how to transmute energy. Specifically, I'm always talking about sexual energy, so we can call it sexual energy if you wish, but just keep in mind that sexual energy is the entirety of all the energy in your being. Sexual energy is only called sexual when it's like contained in the genitals. So how do we shift it to different areas of the body? How do we transmute that energy? Well, it's actually relatively simple, but it's hard to do in the sense of we become very addicted or connected to the horny feeling. And oftentimes, as men in particular, we become very addicted to passion and desire, and then ultimately releasing that horny feeling because we can't handle the tension. We almost feel tormented by it sometimes. So one of the things I've learned how to do over the years, because I do body work with clients, I do energy work with clients, is how to essentially shunt that or transmute that sexual energy to my hands for healing purposes. Now I'm trying to, my particular process, I'm just going to guide you through how I do it. Okay, so you can follow along if you wish, and I do highly suggest you pause the video at various points so that you can kind of practice the methods a little bit more. However, like I said, I'm just going to teach you this as one continuous flow, and also give you a couple pointers towards the end of the video relative to how to not drain yourself by trying too hard when you're working on someone, and also to keep in mind that the ideal space that you're going into when you're doing healing work on someone is as a conduit. It's not other words, don't get any messianic complexes like you, the ego, is doing anything. I know, because I go through these all the time, these ridiculous internal messianic level, look how great I am kind of BS. The reality is that I'm only a conduit. And so neutral space, meditative space, objectivity, these are the terms. You're connecting the ego to objective realm, witnessing space. The body has its own wisdom. It will simply do what it needs to do. Intuition is what's guiding the process when you're doing healing work. So, channeling energy to the hands. So I'm going to go ahead and guide you through it. First step, breath of fire. So you can use bellows breath if you wish, which is just simply rapid breathing in order to saturate with oxygen. So first thing I do, stack the spine, nice tall spine. Push that perineum down, tuck the chin, align the crown with, again, in my mind's eye, I can kind of see a light above the head. So that's what I'm connecting with. It's a nice tall spine. Fingers, Gyan Mudra. Again, you want to tune into the sensation, the feeling here. Mudras are not passive. They require a focus or attention on some level, and that's what channels energy, right? So, nice tall spine. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale a half breath. Now, breath of fire is the pumping from below the navel, so I pull in, air goes out. When I relax, air comes in. So generally we're going to do this for about 45 seconds at least. I do breath of fire sometimes for up to 3 to 5 minutes. Right now we're just going to be doing it for about 45 seconds or so. So continue just in another 5 seconds or so. Inhale a deep breath. Retain that breath. Close your eyes. Smile inwardly at your left eye. And it helps to literally smile when you're smiling inwardly. And when you need to exhale, continue smiling at that left eye. Now when you're ready to inhale, retain the breath, smiling at the right eye. Exhale, retain the breath out. Continue smiling at the right eye. So when you need to inhale again, you inhale. Once again, retain the breath, smiling at both eyes. And then when you're ready to exhale, exhale, retain the breath out, smiling at both eyes. Now when you need to inhale once again, you go to the back of the head. You go to the occiput or the medulla area here. The jade pillow, I believe, is another term for that. And you smile at the jade pillow, the medulla, the occiput. Again, you're smiling inwardly. And once again, when you exhale, continue to smile. Now moving the awareness down to the back of the throat, smiling at the back of the throat. Again, one breath retention in, one breath retention out. Good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start spinal breathing. So I call this I'm sure someone else calls it this too, the so hung breath. So you're inhaling so, your long, deep breath. You're moving down the spinal cord. As you're moving and up and down the spine with your mind, you may also feel like a pulsation. You could perceive like whitish, bluish light perhaps. But again, it's inhaling so, moving down the spine towards the tailbone, keeping the pelvic floor relaxed. Keep the anus relaxed, the perineum relaxed, the genitals relaxed, the belly relaxed. Allowing the pelvic bowl and the abdomen to expand on inhale. And as you exhale, you're moving up that spine, mentally reciting H-U-N-G, hung, a nice long, and again, I said mentally, moving up that spine, returning to the back of the head. So you're going down the spine, inhaling so, up the spine, exhaling hung. And it helps as you're exhaling to gently contract along the pelvic floor, to pull in the belt line very gently to help drive the energy, the awareness back upward. Okay? So hung breath, you want to do that for about 3 minutes. After about 3 minutes of so hung breath, hopefully you're feeling centered, right? So the energies are now flowing within a little bit more. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do I call them pelvic pulsations, but basically what we're going to do is you're going to inhale, retain the breath, keep the awareness inside the head, and you're going to contract and relax the genitals. So you do this for as long as you're comfortable retaining the breath. You do it twice. So 2 times at the genitals, inhale, retain the breath, contract and relax the genitals, 2 times. Then you're going to do it 2 times at the anus. Inhale, retain the breath, contract and relax the anus. Again, 2 times with the anus. Now, what you want to pay attention to is what are you feeling as you're contracting and relaxing these things? Are you feeling changes in internal pressure? Are you feeling some sort of, let's say, like for me, it's a inner shift in my I guess light. I generally will perceive like a change in light patterns, so that's something you could experience. Anyway, there's a number of possible manifestations here. So after you've done the contractions and the relaxations, then what we're going to do is we're going to connect now to the perineum. And you want to guide the energy up towards the space inside the body just above the perineum. Okay, so below the navel, inside the body, just above the perineum, it's like a straight line. But you want to inhale, take a deep breath in, retain that breath, lift the perineum. Like I can feel like a pulse down there. I can feel like heat. I can feel a little slight spinning sensation. Again, a number of different manifestations could actually rise. So after you've done that, you want to do this again, several breaths, Inhaling, retaining the breath, lift the perineum at that space behind the navel. And again, we're just building warmth and a connection to that energy, right? And exhale, when you exhale, you just want to consolidate your focus at that space behind and below the navel there, right? So you just want to exhale, consolidate your awareness there. So after you've done that a certain number of times, then we're going to start shunting the energy towards the hands. How that's done is, so you have your fingertips. There's a particular practice I use. It's from the Kundalini yoga tradition. I don't recall the name for it, but it's essentially each one of the fingertips corresponds to a mental vibration or a mental mantra. So index finger is Sa, the middle finger is Ta, T-A, the next finger is Na, N-A, fourth finger is Ma, M-A, and then the thumb is the kind of the guide. So when you're moving your awareness through the fingers, essentially you're connecting your thumb to each one of these. The thumb, I believe, is symbolic in a lot of ways of the ego or the heart. I don't want to get into semantics, but the point is that as we're doing this exercise, we're connecting the thumb to each one of these fingers. So you're feeling each of these things. So you're feeling the thumb and the index finger as you're mentally saying Sa. You're feeling the thumb and the index finger at the same time. As you're mentally reciting Ta, you're feeling the thumb and the middle finger. Again, thumb and ring finger is Na, thumb, and pinky finger is Ma. Now the mudra is set up like so. I'm only touching the ring fingers. The pinkies are not touching. Nothing else is touching. I have my elbows relaxed at the sides. And so what I'm doing is I'm inhaling. And as I'm inhaling, I'm moving my awareness through the fingertips, inhaling Sa, Ta, Na, Ma. So just feeling each one of those. I'm keeping the fingers widely splayed. So inhaling Sa, Ta, Na, Ma on each one of the fingertips. And as you exhale, you're going to move in the opposite direction. You're going to go from pinky. Again, you can use Sa, Ta, Na, Ma if you wish again. Sa, Ta, Na, Ma, just going in the opposite direction. So Sa, Ta, Na, Ma forward, Sa, Ta, Na, Ma back, just kind of going back and forth over the fingertips. And this will start to sensitize the fingers. So now what's the interesting part for me is when we go ahead and walk you through this. So let's go ahead and get in the position. Elbows relaxed to the sides. Once again, nice tall spine. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale all the air out. Bring your awareness to the fingertips. Inhale, Sa, Ta, Na, Ma, and then retain the breath. Inhale, Sa, Ta, Na, Ma, and retain the breath. Now with the breath retained, you want to pull in that belt line, connecting to that space where you've accumulated all this energy. Now you should feel pressure on the hands. I'll see light in my mind's eye. I'll feel pressure. A number of things will actually manifest. If your eyes are closed, or you can have your eyes at the tip of the nose for this practice. I generally have it at the tip of my nose. So again, it's inhaling, retaining the breath. As you're inhaling, Sa, Ta, Na, Ma, nice long breath. Now the mental mantra will help you pace that inhale. And once you've pulled in that navel point, feeling the pressure change, you go ahead and exhale now. Once again, moving the opposite direction back towards the index finger, Sa, Ta, Na, Ma. Gently pulling in the navel even more. Good. So inhale, relax everything. Inhaling Sa, Ta, Na, Ma. Feeling each of the fingertips. Pull in the belt line, retain the breath. Really consolidate your awareness and focus at the hands. You may perceive light, pulsation, etc. And then exhale, Sa, Ta, Na, Ma. Again, keeping that focus at the hands. I sometimes retain the breath out. But again, that's the general pattern here. Right? We're shunting the energy from the navel point, from our body's center of gravity, and center of power to the hands. So by the end of this, your hands should feel tingly, warm. In your mind's eye, they may be lit. And so after you do this, you inhale, retain the breath, exhale, relax the posture, okay? So that is the general progression of how I get the energy flowing to my hands. Now, when you're working on someone, this is incredibly important. Oftentimes, again, the ego wants to come in and say, oh, if I somehow mentally push really hard, then I'm going to like transmit more healing energy. No. So the ultimate power is the spirit that is flowing through you. That is God itself, creation itself, infinity, etc., etc. The ego is like, anyway, it doesn't have that power, right? So all you want to do as an ego is to get light to the hands, to perceive heat or light, or to sensitize the hands. So once you perceive light on the hands, just allow the light to shine. The light will naturally shine inside the person. And again, then you're using your intuition, not logic, not reason, not pattern, not structure, and you're working on someone. So let's say I place my hand at one of my clients on his left pectoral, and then the other is down by the navel, let's say, right? So all I'm doing there is keeping my awareness on my hands, keeping the sensitivity there, paying attention to how my intuition is guiding me. And because for me, like my intuition will, at least when I'm doing healing work, it's like the hot and cold game. I don't know if you know this game, but when you're kids, somebody hides something from you, they have something hidden behind the couch, let's say, and you're going to go look for it. So the hot and cold game is as you get closer to this item that has been hidden, the other person will say hot, 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 and as you get further away, the person says cold, 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 okay? So this is a bit like how I feel when I'm doing healing work, as I'm getting close to whatever I'm healing, or helping is a better term than healing. I'm helping the client heal. So as I'm going towards this spot, whatever it is, to me, it just feels like I'm getting hot, 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 right? So as I get there, I place the hands. All I do then is I connect to, once again, keeping my awareness on my hands. I'll sometimes need to reconsolidate my focus. I'll pull in the navel very gently, then I'll let it go, and then I just relax. And I stay present with the hands, and the hands will naturally shine inside of a person, okay? That's it. It's a very low effort practice. It's not like I'm trying to force energy inside, or I'm pumping the navel and I'm doing all this shit. It's very passive in a way. I'm shining inside of them is all I'm doing. So with all that said, if any of you out there have any interest in sort of deepening these practices, I do offer like sexual energy coaching, because again, this whole healing process, it is my belief that you can't help someone heal unless you can help yourself, right? So the first thing, particularly if you're a dude, you have to develop and cultivate a good relationship with sexual energy. So I offer sexual energy coaching, helping men cultivate that energy, utilize that energy, get the most out of their sexual experiences, get over any sort of, phobias or traumas related to their sexual energy, and their own sexuality in their body. So if you have any interest in that, I do have a website link down below this video, and thank you for watching.